going on, guys? This is Juancho,
Darth Flex.
and we are here with.
Max Brooke.
Now, we are standing behind Fantasy Flights. This was your. Which stage was this right here?
So this was the room where we had sort of open gaming and game demos, and we also just had the Coruscant Invitational, the end of the System Open series for this year, where all the people who'd won the previous System Opens came to sort of compete for the big prize at the end, I guess. Yeah.
Now, I'm a big fan of Fantasy Flight. Me and Mr. Dark Flex over here got a chance to play Assault. It was a little frustrating, but we got through it.
Good.
We love it. I've loved Fantasy Flight ever since I got it in my hands with I forget the name of the board game. No.
Twilight Imperium?
No, my mind just completely went blank. It was one of the dungeon series.
Descent?
Yes,
Yes,
Descent.
Yes.
The edition 1.
Yeah.
That's how I fell in love.
With the old dragon.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is how I fell in love with Fantasy Flight. Their mechanisms, the games. Give us a little bit more of how, you got started here.
Yeah, so I started at Fantasy Flight Games about 5 years ago, and I came on to work on role-playing games. So I started to work on our Warhammer 40K role-playing games. Yeah. Then I got to work on our Star Wars role-playing games, which is obviously really exciting. And then a couple years ago, I started working on X-Wing stuff. So that's been really cool as well. And then I've sort of, got to watch lots of other projects come together. It was really cool to watch, so you mentioned Descent, and Imperial Assault is sort of the, it's sort of an evolved, Star Wars version of Descent. It's got a lot of that in its DNA. Obviously, they're different games, but they're sort of, they're cousins.
Yeah.
And so watching that be developed, while I was at the company, even though I wasn't working on it, was really cool. And I got to see it, and I got to try it at early stages when they needed help with testing and such, and so that was really neat. But I mostly work on miniatures and role-playing games.
Now, you've mentioned some that you are you're involved with. Can you give me a little bit more of what games you're involved with at the moment right now?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm mostly working on X-Wing these days. So I work on the new X-Wing ships that are coming out. Okay. So things like we just recently announced the TIE Aggressor, the Auzotok gunship, the Skurg bomber that had appeared in Armada, and of course goes back to Jedi Starfighter, the video game you might have played. And so we work on the new ships, and we get to work with Lucasfilm, obviously, who guides us in making these and doing them right, and we have just a ton of great people involved, and there's so I work on the rule stuff, but I have there's a producer who makes sure that the project stays on time and on budget, and makes sure that everything is happening and it's all in order. There's art coordinators who make all our great art, pieces like this, tons of other pieces, and they work with freelance artists who are really talented and passionate. We have tons of great production people, and so it's this huge, every project. It's interesting. It's like there's a few people sort of in charge of it at every stage, but there are probably 50 people involved at various stages, because it's just everyone's sort of comes in and uses their skills in very different ways. We have fantastic graphic designers, all these people.
Now, when me and Dark Flex started playing Assault, we struggled a little bit. What do you recommend for players who are just starting to pick up board games like these to start with?
Yeah, definitely. So it depends what you like. If you like card games, we recently came out with Star Wars Destiny, which is a collectible card and dice game. And Destiny is very approachable. I've been playing even just with the starters, without even any extra packs, with a bunch of my friends who I used to game with a lot, but a lot of them have kids, or they just don't have as much time. And it's nice because it doesn't take up that much space. It doesn't take up that much, time to play a couple games. So Destiny is great for that as an approach point. X-Wing is really good too for that, though. So X-Wing, there's the core set you can get, and you get enough ships to play the game, and then you can add on to that collection as you go. But X-Wing is really easy and approachable, and the miniatures are pre-painted, so you don't have to paint your miniatures. I love hobby miniatures games, but a lot of my friends don't have time to paint the minis or whatever, and so X-Wing they really like that, because they can just start playing immediately.
Perfect. Well, guys, this is Fantasy Flight. Check them out. How can they find you guys out? What website or?
FantasyFlightGames.com. So yeah, www.fantasyflightgames.com. You can find our stuff there.
Okay.
And check your friendly local game store for our stuff as well.
All right. For those who are in South Florida, Tate's Comic Book Store. Which was the other one? Past, present, and future, and Cool Stuff Inc. They are the ones where you can get your local products from Fantasy Flight. Thank you again, sir.
Yeah,
it's been a
much.
pleasure.
Great to meet you.
And remember, guys,
Great to meet you.
geeking out never felt so good.
This is day one, Star Wars Celebration. Guys, what are we expecting? How are we gonna do?